We are going to talk about the Big Ten's best backcourts because our colleague, David Klein, guest of the show, friend of the show, came on this very program a couple weeks ago. Just put an article out on SpartanHoops.com. He made it free as of this morning so that anybody can go in and see it. And he basically made Big Ten guard tiers of players that he thinks are notable heading into the season. He did draw the cutoff line at a certain point, so he didn't just list everybody in the conference. But I want to run through his tiers quickly. Tier one, all conference guys. Terrence Shannon was the first name mentioned. Tyson Walker was the second name mentioned. Tier two, fringe all conference guys. I think that was the term. Do you have it up? What was the
Yeah, I
term
do.
for
So
tier
the,
two?
the first tier was first team all Big Ten likelihood, and
Yep.
then cut off tier two all Big Ten caliber players.
Okay. So likelihood versus caliber is what's going to be debated here. But tier two, I'd term it as fringe. I'm putting words in DK's mouth. To me, these are guys he views as like maybe they're all Big Ten, maybe they're not. Boo Buie is the first name mentioned. AJ Hoggard is the second name mentioned. Jahmir Young is the third name mentioned. Braden Smith fourth. Bruce Thornton fifth. Third tier, like potential good seasons. Doug McDaniel, Connor Essegian, and then Deshaun Harris Smith. So I'll throw it to you first, just broadly. Do you like this list? Do you have any major issues with this list?
Uh, I think that Boo Buie has done enough to earn himself in the first category on here. Like I understand that they had the loss of Audige, which I think is glossed over a little bit too much. I think Audige did do some things to help take pressure off of Boo, but I mean he was first team All Big Ten last year, and then he comes back. I feel like he's earned that spot to be in that first spot. I don't know. I think the main, and I wouldn't even use the word issue. For me, it's there's guys on here that are going to be certified all Big Ten players. Tyson, Terrence Shannon Jr., Boo Buie, and Jahmir Young are all, I would put millions of dollars that all those guys are on the all Big Ten team. Then I'll go to another tier of guys that could make a Big Ten team, but there's also a world where they don't make a Big Ten team. Like there's a world where AJ Hoggard doesn't make an all Big Ten team. He hasn't made one yet, for anyone who doesn't know that. Like that hasn't happened yet. Bruce Thornton, I think there's going to be a lot of guys on that team who could do some things. I don't know if Bruce Thornton is for sure going to be an all Big Ten guy. Braden Smith, also a guy who could have a really good season for a really good team, but who knows how his stats are going to line up and whether he can sneak his way into an all Big Ten team for sure. So I would just tier it differently, but I really don't have any like glaring issues, I guess, with the list or the tiers the way they are.
Okay. Yeah, I think I agree. I think we're pretty much on the same page here. Are you a little surprised Hepburn's not on the list? We're not, at least I'm not a big Hepburn guy, but
No,
the more
I'm not a big Hepburn guy either, so I'm not surprised that he's not on the list. No.
okay, the more I was thinking through it, I'm just like, he's around. Like he could have been a name. Here's a couple small issues I have. First of all, you'll probably disagree with me on this. I don't think Terrence Shannon should have been on this list in any of these tiers. I get that Terrence Shannon can play guard and looks like a guard and probably is a guard sometimes. He's also like a power forward sometimes. He's also a wing most of the time. And when I go down this list, I see a bunch of actual like point guard types. Tyson Walker plays the two, but he's a point guard type. Like these are all guards. Terrence Shannon's probably going to be like the power forward on the All Big Ten first team this year. It's going to be Edey, 3 point guards, and Terrence Shannon. So I get like like just seeing his name first on the list of best Big Ten guard to me feels a little off because I think he's the best Big Ten wing, and I think he's a different positional guy than this. But I don't like that's not a huge gripe. Like I get where DK would have him here, and I think you've made the point that Shannon is a guard before. But again, I'm on paper, Illinois wants Ty Rodgers to be their point guard. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn's going to play. Like if Sincere Harris is on the court with Terrence Shannon, is Terrence Shannon the guard and Harris is the forward? I would just put him in a different positional group altogether. Outside of that, you nailed it with Buie and Young. I don't know how Buie and Young can be in the same tier as guys that need to break out versus guys that have already been the best player on an NCAA tournament team. Like that's Buie was the best player on a team that almost made the Sweet 16, almost beat UCLA. Jahmir Young was the best player on a Maryland team that was really, really good. for the whole season. So, like Hogard is going to be a really good player on a really good team this year, and his body looks totally different. We've talked about how excited I am the strides AJ's made this offseason. He still needs to make those strides. He hasn't done it already, like Boo and Jameer Young have. Braden Smith and Bruce Thornton are younger. They're more traditional breakouts. They're not the 23-year-old guy that's going to break out like Hogard is. But I would just have those three in a totally separate category. Like, I think if you're going to put Shannon and Walker at the top, then you got to put Bowie and Young right below them. If they're not in the same tier, it's got to be like tier 1, Shannon Walker, tier 2, Bowie Young, tier 3, Smith Thornton. And if you want to lump Hogard in there, fine. Or I'd even be fine if Hogard was like in his own category card. Cause I kind of view AJ as like, he's not really a breakout candidate. He's just like a guy that's already good enough that just needs to, I don't know,
get over the hump.
And not even get over the hump. Just like if Michigan State's a good team, it's probably enough, right? Like if Michigan State wins 30 games instead of 21 games, then like AJ, the guy he is there. But if not, like God forbid, if this goes off the rails, then AJ Hogard's numbers as they've been aren't going to get it done. So I don't know. Right. I don't know. I think you're right though. Boo's got to be up.
Yeah. And then like, you got to look at it this way too with AJ Hogard. Like, obviously, this is just me with a theory on top of my head. Like, you have to have something special, I feel like, to have 3 guys on an all Big Ten team. Like, that's a pretty good situation. I can't think to last year 3 guys from the same team all made all Big Ten. They obviously probably did, but like last year, it was Tyson and Joey. Those were like the 2 best players on the team. Joey's gone now. So there is a world where AJ Hogard becomes that second guy for a really, really good basketball team in Michigan State, makes an all Big Ten team.
One name notably missing from this. Do you know the name I'm going to say?
Keisei?
Keisei is a great player who was in the honorable mention category. Not Keisei. He's on your team, the guy I'm about to mention.
Jaden Akins?
Where's Jaden Akins?
He's a wing.
Oh.
He's with Terrence Shannon. He's with Terrence Shannon.
Oh, NBA guard Jaden Akins is a wing. Okay, got it. I'm trying to understand why would Terrence Shannon be first on this list, but Jaden Akins wouldn't be? Like Jaden Akins is more a guard than Terrence Shannon is.
Because I mean, you know the answer to this.
Or are we just saying Akins isn't like, is Akins on any list? Is Akins going to be on the wing list this year?
I would put Akins on all Big Ten before I put Hogard.
Hogard's going to have the numbers. I guess I'm just curious when DK does his list, is Akins going to be on the forwards list? And if he is, then you had Shannon on the wrong list. If he's not, then okay, fine. We're just saying Akins isn't as good as Doug McDaniel or Connor Essegian. I don't think I agree with that, but and I don't think DK agrees with that. I think we know the truth is that he's going to be on the wing list. If Jaden Akins is on the wing list and Terrence Shannon isn't, aren't we just trying to put a Michigan State guy on the weaker list? Isn't that what's happening here? Like,
not on SpartanHoops.com.
No, great site. Big fan of DK's work. I'm trying to spot where the Michigan State guard is that everyone yelled at me in my mentions and said was a guard, but now he's a forward. So, okay. Final question, speed round here. Let's say end of the season. There's 2 guards on the first team, 2 guards on the second team, 2 guards on the third team. Who are they?
2 guards on the first team, Shannon and Walker.
We're calling Shannon a guard?
Yeah, I am. 2 guards on the second team, I'm going Jameer Young, Braden Smith. Third team, I'm going, oh, sorry, my apologies. Excuse me. Boo Bowie and Jameer Young, second team. Third team, I'm going Braden Smith. Oh, damn. Braden Smith Hogard.
Okay. I'm fine with that. I'll give my answer in a second, but we got to go back to the first team, man. If Shannon and Walker's the first team, who are the other 2 guys that aren't Zach Edey on that team?
Maybe you can bump one of the guards up. Let's put 4 guards, like you said.
The answer is that Shannon isn't a guard, man. Like it doesn't make any sense. First team guards to me are Tyson Walker and Boo Buie. Second team guards to me are Jameer Young and Braden Smith. Third team guards to me are Bruce Thornton and AJ Hoggard. Congratulations, Michigan State fans. You have 2 all Big Ten guards. Hopefully 3 if Jaden Akins breaks out this season. We'll see.